What's up, y'all? So I know that I'm a little late, and I keep looking over here instead of right here, but we're gonna figure it out. I know I'm a little late on a couple of things. So the Real Housewives of Potomac, and also I'm throwing in Love and Marriage Huntsville because I just like really, really, really love that show. So I'm gonna go ahead, even though this past Sunday another episode just aired. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm still gonna do my review because I said I was gonna be posting like I'm supposed to, whether no matter how many people watching, I'm gonna do my posting. So we're gonna get right into it. So this was Real Housewives of Potomac season 6, episode 9. So the episode kind of opened up with Mia looking for an outfit so that she can go and have lunch with her mother. Now, she was, picking out outfit, asked you to come help her, which I thought was kind of cute. I guess he don't mind. So, she was just kind of worried, sitting there talking to him, and he just reassured her, that she was kind of maybe just overthinking everything, and just, it's gonna be nice, like it's gonna be okay. You guys are gonna pretty much, have a good time. They flipped over to Wendy and Eddie, and Wendy was explaining to Eddie, she said she told him a little bit, but she didn't really go, into detail about what happened in Williamsburg. And she started crying, and in that moment when Wendy started crying and talking about how her and Eddie pretty much had to fight for their relationship because Eddie's parents didn't approve of their relationship, their marriage, or anything, and she hasn't met his mother hasn't met their children and stuff like that. I was like, okay, I understood. Like, I understood it at first anyway, because you just talking about somebody's marriage behind their back, but I definitely understood it in this instance where this is something that we had to fight for, that people did not want to happen, and not just any kind of people, like his family, like his mother and stuff like that. So for somebody to talk about their relationship in the manner in which they did about him cheating and stuff like that, she didn't take it lightly. And so I definitely understood that. So they go on and they move to the next scene, which is Robin and Giselle on the Reasonably Shady podcast. And the first thing that Giselle wanted to discuss was cheating, which was ironic, seeing as how she never likes to talk about Jamal and his cheating. But okay, so they dive in, and Robin was talking about how I guess Juan had cheated on her before, and I was like real surprised because I don't know why, but I didn't know that. I don't know if they said it on the show or not before, but when she discussed that, I always thought that her and Juan had divorced because of the whole situation with the money that their friend has stole from them. And I just thought maybe eventually, hard times kind of had got the best of them and stuff like that. I had no idea that it was from Juan cheating, which it was kind of when I think about it, Juan was like a professional, basketball player and stuff like that. So he probably did have the ladies, because he's a nice looking guy. So he probably did have the ladies, coming a little strong, and probably didn't know how to handle it because he was young. But I literally didn't know that. I thought it was because of the other stuff that they had going on, and it just kind of tore them apart. But I guess it was, the cheating. And Robin was like, at this age, she just got zero tolerance for a lot of stuff. And I think a lot of women, as they get older, they get like that. Like, they have zero tolerance for a lot of bull crap. They don't want to put up with all the stuff that they did when they was younger. Because it's it's time to enjoy life. It's time to, coast, make our money, travel, stuff like that. Ain't nobody got time to be sitting there checking your phone or running up behind you trying to see what you're doing. So I definitely understand that part. Let me see. And then Giselle mentioned, not saying her name, but she did mention the situation about Wendy, and she was putting it to the point of, I was trying to talk to a friend about her. And it's no, you weren't. You talked to a lot of people behind her back before you talked to her. If you heard a rumor or whatever the case may be, is if that was your friend, the friendly thing to do was be like, girl, like, what's going on? Like, is everything cool? Like, I personally don't believe what's going on, but why is it like it's in the streets? Like, anything. Like, but you decided to go to, number one, Ashley. You know what I'm saying? And then I know you done told Robin, because, you know, Robin knows what's going on. Robin be knowing everything. So it's just like, if you can't see why Wendy took it that way, then, you know what I'm saying, that's on you. But you know doggone well that you didn't mean any good by doing that. So, you know, like, let's cut that out. Candace tells Chris and Giselle, Candace tells Chris how Giselle is saying that he riding her coattails. I don't think Candace should have said that to him, and I feel like she only said something like that because, like, are you really feeling like that? You know what I'm saying? Like, is that how you feel? Like, if somebody says something about my husband, you know what I'm saying, first of all, and I know it's not true or whatever, I'm gonna check them in that moment. But if it's something that I don't feel like my husband needs to know, like, that's nothing that he even needs to worry about or whatever, I'm not gonna bring it to him. But I feel like she brought it to him because, you know what I'm saying, she kind of is feeling like that. But it's like, that's exactly why I said in my last video that you shouldn't have, like, your spouses or anything like that be your manager, because it just becomes a thing. Like, you know, now people are saying, oh, you know what I'm saying, he don't make his own money, she paying him and stuff like that. And then it's like, you know, Chris, now it's the same thing. Like, he feel like he got to check up behind you on every little thing, and it's just gonna create, like, it's gonna be that tiny little snag in the sweater. And then it's like, once you pull that snag, baby, it's just finna go all the way and run it up. And I feel like that's what's gonna end up happening. Like, so I just felt like they should have kept it, you know, things separately. And then I just didn't like the way, you know what I'm saying, like, I don't know, I don't like the way Giselle does that. Like, if Candace is your friend, why would you say something like that? Like, why would you, it'll be a difference if Chris was running around saying, I ain't even gotta work, like, I could just go ahead and be a manager to my girl, like, you know what I'm saying, she finna hit it big and blah 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 blah. I could get it if he was doing it like that, but, you know, it wasn't in that manner. I feel like, you know, Candace was like, you know what, he doing all this stuff anyway, so let me go ahead and just, I feel like that's the manner in which it went. Chris doesn't even seem like that kind of person. So for Giselle to put that seed in her head, it's just like, I mean, that's just another, you know what I'm saying, sign of her being miserable. Like, you just planted a seed that just didn't need to be there. And it's just like, and I just feel like Candace too, like, when I was thinking about it, like, Candace too, you was talking a little greasy behind Giselle back, but you don't do that when Giselle is right there in front of you. Like, when she's in front of you, girl, you be sweet as pie, or you candy, sugarcoating everything. But then when you was talking to Chris, it was just like, you got real tough, girl. Get real tough. But okay. Ashley and Michael had discussed discussing their sex life is like driving me crazy. And it's like, I know that older people have sex, but like, I don't know, Michael just seems just real like cringy to me. Like, he's just so cringy to me. And it's like, you know, y'all went to go have the whole, like, you know, do the tongue tie, I mean, you know, like, you know, the therapy thing with the baby because he has a tongue tie and stuff like that. But it's just like, how do y'all end up talking about in the car like your sex life? And I just feel like Ashley always apologizing, like, for her not being able to do certain sexual things because she just had a baby. Like, your husband should understand that. Your husband was there, correct? Like, if he's seen what went down there, and then he knows that the doctor said you can't do XYZ for 6 weeks, 8 weeks, whatever your doctor may be saying, why do you feel the need to apologize to him for being patient with you? Like, that doesn't make sense to me. And that just makes it sound like she's just trying to make sure, you know, that he knows that I want to do these things with you. Like, I want to do such and such with you, but I can't, so that he don't go and cheat. Baby, if you got to do all that for him not to cheat, you need to leave his ass alone. And I know that's your husband, but that's honestly our truth. You need to leave his ass alone. If you got to apologize, you know, for having a damn baby and you can't perform a sexual act with him, like, no, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. And I don't know, that just really bothers me that she constantly apologizing for something like that. So Robin was discussing like getting a life coach, which I think is a really good thing to acknowledge when you need help in certain aspects of your life. I think a lot of people can use a life coach. me in particular, I think I could use a life coach, because it's just like, when you get into a certain space in your life and you just don't know which way to go. I don't think it's particularly therapy. Not that anything's wrong with therapy, because a lot of people do therapy and it works for them. But sometimes it might just be a life coach to help you, you know what I'm saying, plan, or to help you execute, because that's my problem. Like, I have a really big problem with planning and executing. Like, I know how I want to execute something, but the planning part is just like, it gets me like stuck. So I definitely was like, cool, she wanted to do the whole life coach thing, and that was good. She called, she found somebody, she wanted to check them out. I think that's really good for her. Me and her mom sit down for lunch, and they were discussing Mia's dad, and you could tell, like, as soon as Mia started talking about it, like, that you know it sparked up something in the mom. Like, it just sounds like that it was just a very traumatic time for her. Again, she was saying how Mia's dad got her started on drugs. Her daddy was abusive to her mother. Mia ended up getting burned because she was, in the care of her father. And I'm assuming that he probably was somewhere high when Mia ended up getting burned. And the mom was saying, like, she was only at work for 15 minutes before they were calling, saying she needed to come get Mia. So it just sounded like, and I get it, like, Mia wants to understand, her childhood, understand why her mom, was the way that she was and how she went down that path. I do understand it, but I think sometimes us as children, well, in the child space, like, not necessarily that we're the child in age, but in the child space, like, we're looking for some answers in our parents that we don't quite understand, that it's probably traumatic for them, or it's just something that they went through and they just don't want to talk about it. Now, I do think that they should understand, in a sense that, okay, my baby do deserve some answers, but I don't know, it's just like a give and take kind of thing, and then also an understanding thing on both sides of the spectrum, that we just need to understand as a child that we're not going to be able to know every single thing, and then as an adult, the parent role, like, understand that I can't hold back every single thing. You know what I'm saying? So I do hope that they get to a good space, and that they can get past discussing those hard things, and just begin to enjoy each other and learn one another all over again. And I just really do, because it just seemed like her mom just really hated to even think about that at all and talk about that at all. So it really was like, it was kind of heart-wrenching to see, her get so emotional about it. Karen, Wendy, and Mia meet to pick Karen's second reception dress. Mia cracked me up because she was so shady about the doggone venue, which I was confused. I didn't know that was a venue, but then when it was looking like, when Karen was saying, when they flashed back to showing, saying her and Ray need to, see how they look coming down the stairs, I was like, oh, okay, that's the venue, and thought maybe like the bridal people brought the, like their services to the space, so that, you know what I'm saying, I just thought that was something that they had did, like maybe Karen had paid for or whatever. But when Mia say the interior looked better than the exterior, and then they flashed to that exterior, baby, they looked like they was in a warehouse. And I was like, they did some doggone alakazam on the inside, because it looks beautiful on the inside, and it looks nothing like what the outside is giving us. Like, the outside was giving Amazon Prime, like, I don't know, like just warehouse vibes. But that was too funny when they flashed to that outside. I was like cracking up. Like, Mia played all day. Mia then tells them that she was invited to Robin's birthday party, and she didn't notice that Wendy and Karen was on the invite. And it's kind of like, girl, well, why would you? Like, I mean, you just gotta know when you just expect to not be invited somewhere. Like, I got people that I just know when they have stuff, I ain't gonna be there. And it's not even because, I particularly would say that I wouldn't come. It's just that I know I wouldn't expect myself to be invited. I just wouldn't. And honestly, I wouldn't expect myself to be, ecstatic if I was invited. Like, it's just, your place with people, and that's just that. So I don't feel like she was really telling them anything that they was like super like, what, I'm not invited? Like, no. You know what I'm saying? So Candace and Chris discuss him not being at a few of the video scenes that Chris, I guess, is supposed to be at as her manager. And Chris was just seeming like he was over it already. He was just like, come on, we ain't finna start with all that. He just looked like he was over it. And I just don't like the way Candace was starting to talk to him. Like, she was just talking to him like he was her child and all of that. I ain't care for it, because she give me bratty vibes. That's what she gives me. And this is exactly why I said y'all didn't need to be each other's manager, because you spend enough time with each other already. You know what I'm saying? As husband and wife, you're living in a house together. You spending a lot of time together. I don't need you in my workforce now. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like I be getting, my husband has his own job, but when he on vacation and like I work at home, I love to be with him when I'm off of work. But during my work time, he be down here loud, watching TV. I mean, cutting up just all over the place on the phone. And it just be like, skirt. Like, go outside somewhere. Go somewhere. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I definitely was like, come on, y'all, with the whole mixing work and you already see each other enough. I was just like, that's not, no, that's not a good thing. And so, they got into a little scuffle. Chris walked out, got in the car, waited on her to come on outside and everything. And I was just like, come on, y'all, please don't go down that rabbit hole of like, making, another art. We have enough stressors being in a relationship, being married, what I'm saying, that you have to get through. You don't need to add something else like, okay, business onto it. So lastly, the ladies all meet for Robin's birthday. And they were sitting at the table, and it's like Candace got it started with Ashley. Like, first of all, I don't know why you trying to sit there and call this girl wide. First, I'm not a fan of Ashley. Let's be clear about that. I've never been a fan of Ashley because I always feel like she gets in people's business that she does not need to be. But I do feel like Candace was just overly ready to argue with her. Like, you calling a woman wide and all that. She just had a baby. Like, girl, calm down. But it is true. Like, you came, got it started with Wendy and Giselle, and then you flee the scene. You flee the scene of the crime. You know what I'm saying? Instead of standing there saying, Wendy, I didn't even say all of that like that. You know what I'm saying? This is what I said. But apparently they saying Ashley put some stank on it, so I guess we gonna find out. And I need to watch the episode Sunday to see what's going on, because it got started. And then, boop, they cut it off. So we gotta watch Sunday to see what happened. I just hope Candace ain't getting into no more altercations. I really do. Because love bug, you got a lot of mouth for somebody that ain't got them hands, and somebody that don't want them hands put on her. So yeah, thank y'all for watching, and I'll see y'all next video. Bye.